What's up? It's your girl Icy Mona, and I'm back with another review of Chrisean and Blueface Crazy in Love Season 2, Episode 2. Before we get into it, if you want to get connected with your girl on social media, you can do so by scanning the QR code that is shown on the screen or by clicking the link in my description. All right, so let's get into it. So at this point, we are resuming from the last episode ended. Them getting off the bus because it is the day of the fight. So basically, they're showing majority of like the first episode, or the majority of the first scene is basically them backstage getting prepared. The trainers helping prep him. Obviously, Krishan is there along his side, cheering him on, giving him back massages, just being very, very supportive. And then finally, they do show him walking out when the fight like officially begins. And I'm not going to even lie, his entrance was like super clean. Obviously, since he is a rapper, he's able to walk out to his own song. So him doing that and just like the color scheme and just how they had it all lit up, like I'm not gonna lie, he ate that for real, for real. So yeah, so in regards to the fight was cool. I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't watch the full fight, like it actually like being aired off of Zeus. From what I saw, it seemed like a little dude that he was fighting had heart. He was definitely had some mighty punches, but Blueface ended up taking the lead and winning. I'm not sure if the fight is rigged or if there's money thrown at the table if he for real won, but he won the fight. So after that, then they're just recapping. They're in the bus. It's Krishan, Blueface, and the trainer, and they're just talking about the fight. And Blueface is just over there making a joke, saying like, "Yeah, this may be like my last fight," because obviously, like they were both hella out of breath. Like it takes a lot, like out of you, to box. A lot of movement and a lot going on. But then Blueface says this one comment. He was like, "But that match made me horny, though. I'm definitely going, get in tonight." And it's just like, okay, that was completely unnecessary, but I guess celebrate your victory. We didn't need to hear that. But anyway, so then after that, obviously since he won, they're probably gonna like host some like club event after and go out and celebrate. So then we see them going back to the hotel, getting ready, and then now arriving at the event. So once it gets to the event, basically it's super lit. I don't know where place they were at, but it was hella big. It was hella people there. It seemed like it was a lit night. They even showed two girls get into a fight, wig coming off, getting thrown into the audience. I was like, dang. He performed all that. So lit night at the club. Basically, in the next scene after that, Blueface and Krishan are just in the house. They're chilling. And he's on the couch smoking. And she's by him. Mind you, in my head, I'm like, dang, like you smoking all up in her face, like breathing all the smoke, just all up in her nostrils. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this probably isn't that good for the baby, but okay. But anyways, he starts the whole topic again about her line and starts getting on her for that. And basically, he was just saying, like, like, you go out of town for a few days, not telling me where you're at, and then you pop up pregnant, blah, blah, blah. What am I supposed to think? And then she was saying that basically, like, she went back home to her mom and that she didn't tell him where she was really going because he felt like he would overreact. And she was just saying in general, when I feel like I'm starting to get on your nerves or we need space, like, I'm going to dip out. And then he basically is like, well, why couldn't you just say, like, I'm going to my mom's then? Why you have to lie and say I'm in LA, blah, blah, blah. So they're just talking back and forth about that. And she's basically like, you doing too much this whole paternity, but whatever, we're gonna end up taking it, like, since you be thinking I'm lying, like. And she also made a point of saying too, she was like, now that I'm lying, or not that I'm lying, now that she is telling the truth, it basically don't make sense because they're not even on good terms. So she basically feels like either way, if we're on bad terms, whether I'm telling the truth or not, it's still gonna be like a F you to me. Like, you still gonna feel how you feel. Like, so there's really no point regardless. And then basically she changes the subject and she was saying how her first doctor's appointment, her mom's gonna be there for it and she's very excited. And she was telling him how she's excited. And he was saying he's excited too. It's low-key weird to me though, because it's like, although it's like they're technically beefing right now and he wants this whole paternity and stuff, it's like the fact that they can still be like around, like, I don't know, like it's not like they are for real beefing where it's like, I don't know. It's just weird how it's like 1 minute, okay, take the paternity test, you're lying, you probably cheat on me, but we're still like chilling up in the house and like laid up on each other and acting like nothing happened. I don't know. That's just me. So, anyways, basically after that, She leaves the room because his two cousins and his friend One Take J comes over. I was like, oh shoot, I haven't heard about One Take J in hella long. Last time I was listening to his music, I think was like before pandemic. I saw him at Rolling Loud. But anyways, so I was like, okay, cool, hey. But so they basically come over, they're basically having a smoke sesh. They're just on the couch smoking, and they're asking how Chrisean is and the baby, and they're basically just talking about the situation. And then Blueface is gonna ask them like, "Oh, do y'all think it's mine?" And they pretty much tell him like, yeah, pretty much like, duh, like, come on, bruh. Krishan, she ends up coming out to join them, and I guess she was like overhearing their conversation and her name being brought up, and she's like, y'all talking shit, blah blah blah. She comes and she sits on Blueface's lap or whatever. He's like kind of like making fun. He's like, "Oh, you need to go. This is like boys only, blah blah blah." Like, like we over here like having our own conversation. And no lie, it did have me weak because One Take J, because she was like, "Y'all want me to leave? You want me to leave?" And One Take J was like, "Shit, I mean, it is hella rooms in here, but I ain't saying to leave." Like, low key, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel them because it's like, okay, this is our boy time. Like, like, all right, I guess that's ruined. They start pouring up. They bring out the Henny, except this time they're not drinking it from the bottle. It actually is from cups. I'm like, okay, woo, yay, because y'all was scaring me that last episode. I'm like, y'all are strong, strong. But yeah, so they basically pour up Henny, obviously except for Krishan, and they make a toast to the baby. In the next scene, they pull up to the stew to record some music, and basically they're just there recording, hanging out, smoking. I'm not gonna lie, the jacket that Blueface had on, I loved that jacket. I actually have that same poster of that mugshot. A friend gave it to me. But yeah, I was like, okay, you know what? I was clowning the clothing line before. Maybe it may not be bad after all. So the next scene, shit gets very real. So Krishan calls her family to come out and supports. Her mom is going to be there at the doctor appointment, but she has her two older sisters come into the house, and basically she calls them because she basically said that she woke up feeling like she doesn't want to have the baby anymore. And she's over there just begging them for a shot. Like, I want to take a shot, bro. Like, just let me drink. Obviously, they're like, no, like, what the fuck? Like, we're literally going to see what the sex of the baby is tomorrow. You're not taking no shot. Her other sister was like, hey, I'll drink it for you because we're not doing this. Like, we go to the doctor tomorrow. And Krishan basically starts crying, and she's like, I don't want anything to do with him, like talking about Blueface. And she was just saying how like she can't do it, like she don't want the baby no more. She was like, it's whatever, like I can get an abortion tomorrow, like I really don't care. Like she's completely over it. Obviously her sisters are encouraging her, and they're like, you can do this, like you see how many kids mommy had, and how like like you can do this. And I believe the sister with the braids, I'm gonna assume she's older, so I'm gonna refer to her as the older sister. But she was basically telling her, like, trying to relate to her, like, we've all been there before. And she was telling her, like, I've been there before, been caught up on a dude, like, you've seen it, like, you can get through this, you can do this, you don't have to give up the baby. And then Krishan said something that was lightweight, kind of like life-threatening. She basically was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And that's when the younger sister gets mad, and she's like, come on, bruh, like, stop saying all that. And she was like, when you say all that, it really be making me think, like, okay, like, what the fuck is he doing to you for you to be, like, feeling this down bad and doing the stuff that we've, obviously seen her doing in the past. So anyways, they take a break. They go outside or whatever, and they're in the jacuzzi. And Krishan, like, she's going through it because they put their feet in the water. The sisters do. She hops in, and mind you, she's wearing like a whole sweatsuit. She gets in that bitch fully clothed. I'm like, damn, like my sis is going through it. That's honestly real as fuck. But anyways, she's in there and she's just basically saying like she's scared, she's not strong enough to do it. And the irony of it was she was telling her sister how back when she was trying for a baby super hard, and it was during a time when like, things were good, whatever. But now that things are bad and she does finally have this baby, it's like she don't think she can do it. I feel like overall, like they're not on good terms. That is true. And probably just the fact of her having her first kid and being scared of motherhood. Like, I'm not a mother myself, but I know the first time, if I do end up getting pregnant, I'm about to be terrified. Like, I'm just terrified for the giving birth part. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, oh, ouch. Anyways, so, but her sister's encouraging her once again. She was like, no, you can do this. We can make it through. The sisters, they go inside for a minute, leave Chrisean out there. They're like, we're gonna be right back. Chrisean's sitting there, like, thinking hard, crying, and then she literally, like, goes all the way fully underneath water and then comes up, and then that's when, like, the sister comes out, and the sister actually this time gets into the pool because Chrisean is literally breaking down, crying. And it was so sad because she was like, I don't want to be famous anymore, bro. Like, that's what she was saying when she was crying. And honestly, like, I can't even imagine. Like, I really cannot. Because being, I feel like, famous in this generation, like, and with, like, social media and technology, it is very, very hard. It's not like I feel like our parents' generation or my parents, like, you know, like, yeah, people were famous. They had the TV and film, whatever. But, like, being able to have stuff at your fingertips, it is a lot. And I know personally Chrisean be going through it because last year on Twitter, I actually went viral randomly because I was defending Chrisean, basically saying, because, you know, everyone was getting on her head, like, saying she's acting hella dumb and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, like, don't act like, granted, not everybody's been in her position, but some of y'all be acting hella judgmental and acting like y'all never been through stuff or y'all never been young and dumb before, you know? And I defended her, and I had, like, said a little story how, like, when I was, like, you know, younger, like, you know, I was young and dumb at 1.2. Like, we've all been, like, give her some grace. And the people ate me up. Like, granted, there were, like, half of the comments were people agreeing with me, like, yeah, like, people being hella judgmental, acting holier than thou. And the other half was people straight dragging me, like, coming for my neck. But the thing about me is I like to live in delusion, so I put that on mute real quick and then went back with my day. But if I wouldn't have, no lie, like, seeing some of the stuff that I saw, I was like, damn, like, y'all people are evil. So I can only imagine her knowing how they be treating her in the media and some of the stuff that's said about her for the people who don't like her, and then bringing a child into the world and, you know, having to deal with that. And, like, I just, yeah, it is a whole lot. And honestly, all the stuff that she's thinking, like, I can't fault her for, like, being scared, honestly. Like, it is a scary time to have a kid in this world right now, and especially with her own personal situation too. It's a lot going on. But side note, I thought how it was so sweet when Chrisean was crying. Her sister literally, like, was in the water and picked her up. Like, you know how when you get picked up like a kid, like, literally picked her up to console her. And I'm just like, okay, that's real. Like, I'm glad her family is here to, like, support her, because this is a really rough time right now. However, in the next episode, maybe I shouldn't actually speak too fast because it may be a little tussle, I don't know. But that was pretty much the end of the show and the end of this review. So if you liked this review, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to scan that QR code, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.